To start this project, I draw a simple sketch of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. No details, just enough that I can make a wire skeleton framework. From there, I add aluminum foil to fill in some of the space and add mass to the structure. Once I feel like I've gotten the basic shape and skeletal structure, I start adding a layer of clay, and I continue adding thin layers of clay until the entire surface area is covered. Once that's done, I will continue to add more clay to the areas that need to be thicker and carve away clay from the areas that need to be thinner until I feel like I have the basic shape of a T-Rex. Once I get to this point in the sculpture, I then am able to start on the head. One of the big things with the Tyrannosaurus Rex that makes them unique among other dinosaurs is how broad the back of their skulls are, how thick their vertebrae are in their neck, indicating likely a very strong muscular neck with an extremely strong bite force. This is further supported by the size and shape of their teeth. T-Rexes had huge teeth, huge serrated teeth. Some T-Rex teeth were over a foot long, the majority of that being the root that is embedded in the skull. And the teeth were thicker and wider than many other theropods' teeth. The teeth on this T-Rex, I was able to make them by rolling out small tooth-shaped pieces of clay, putting them in a pan, and baking them, pre-baking them. I had teeth of various sizes. Then I just go through, pick the bigger ones for the side of the mouth, pick smaller ones for the front, arrange them in a way that's aesthetically pleasing. And in pre-baking the teeth, you don't have to worry about them changing shape or getting deformed as you're sculpting the rest of the skull. tool that I use to create the texture of the scales on the skin. I made 2 of them. I basically rolled out a cylindrical piece of clay, then used one of the sculpting tools to puncture a bunch of small holes. And when you press it into the clay, as the clay fills those cavities, it kind of leaves that scale texture pattern. Again, after I made that, I baked it in the oven so that it would hold its shape. Once I've gotten it to this point, I decide to bake the entire thing before I attach the arms. That way I can keep the texture and shape as I attach the arms.